Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. It's been a while, but I'm back with a big video, and this is my review of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. I was able to see this at advanced screening last night, and I was really looking forward to it, but I was kind of skeptical of some stuff that were made in production with concerning the cast and the crew and stuff. By the way, I was really anticipating this movie, and Batman v Superman is about Batman who fears the action of Superman following Man of Steel, and he doesn't know if Superman is trying to be a villain or a hero, but he takes it that he needs to do something about him to make sure he doesn't turn into a villain, which, there you go, there's a conflict. And a pro for me was Ben Affleck as Batman. I was really not looking forward to Ben Affleck as Batman. I didn't like the casting decision when it was first made, but he actually surprised me a lot in this film. He got the whole essence of Batman in the film. I would list him as the third best Batman on film, right behind Keaton and Bale, but no, that isn't dissing on him at all. He does really good in his roles. Just Keaton and Bale did a lot better. Another person I also liked was Jeremy Irons. Jeremy Irons plays Alfred. I really loved him as Alfred. He's kind of a bit underutilized here, but when he's on screen, he's really a real treat, and I can't wait to see him in the solo Batman film. And that also goes along with the Batman-Alfred dynamic. I thought Affleck and Irons had great chemistry together, and I really liked when they were both on screen talking to each other in the Batcave. And again, I can't wait to see that in the solo Batman film, because that was one of the big points for me. The action was good. If you don't know me, I did not really like the Man of Steel action because it felt really too fake for me. But I felt like the action felt a bit more real. Some places where it did feel a bit fake was in the climax, which a lot of CGI is used during there. But it was fairly good. This movie isn't like action-packed as you would think it would be, but I felt when they did action, it felt like it was really done well. Visual CGI was really good. Again, in the climax, there's a few moments where it is just average. It's not really better than average like the other parts in the film was, but CGI is fairly good for the film. It looks beautiful, as all Zack Snyder films do. He really can put a lot of cool visuals, cool effects into it. And Gal Gadot, she does, I wouldn't even call her really good as Wonder Woman, but she does good as her. And I think that because they avoid her delivering lines. It's the same thing with Carla Giancino in Deadpool, who played the woman with Ajax. They avoided her saying any lines. I felt like they did that with Gal Gadot because she's not the best at delivering lines. When she did deliver lines, it was okay. It wasn't like, oh, it was, blasting me away with how great she is. But I felt like she brought the look. She brought what Wonder Woman is supposed to be. I felt that was really where she scored me, because I actually believed her as Wonder Woman, even though when she delivered lines, it wasn't the best. I believed the look of her and everything as Wonder Woman. And the score was great as usual, composed by Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL, two of my favorite composers in the business right now. And the beginning was really great. I was really hooked in. I was ready, but there was a few negatives about this movie. Henry Cavill is kind of underwhelming. He doesn't really get to do much. And I really hope for future installments he can do more, show off his acting range, because I felt like they could have done more with Superman in this film. Not saying this movie isn't Superman-oriented. It's more Batman-oriented, but Superman does have a part in it, but I felt like they could have done more with the Superman character. Jesse Eisenberg was not, I don't know what they were thinking casting him as Lex Luthor. He was an atrocity as Lex Luthor. I could not believe him as Lex Luthor. They changed the Lex Luthor character so much from the comic version, because the comic version is supposed to be deceitful, manipulative, I heard pronounce that word, I'm sorry. But he's supposed to not be... Jesse Eisenberg put some twist on Lex Luthor in this film where he comes off as psychopath and psychotic and all that stuff. It's like, no, this is not supposed to be Lex Luthor. That was one of my big negatives about this movie, was Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. I either have to blame that on Jesse Eisenberg or blame that on the direction or the writing, because it just does not work. And as I said, some characters aren't really developed. During the beginning, I said I was really hooked in, and then it just slows down. That's what really goes with the pacing. Pacing is not that good for this film. It was really slow until it reaches like the last hour, when that's where like bulk of the action takes place. But it was really slow for the first hour and a half, so around that range. And it was like they could take some parts out and develop some of their characters. Lex Luthor, you don't really get a motive for why he's doing all this stuff. Wonder Woman hardly gets any development, even though we're gonna get development for her next year in Wonder Woman solo film. It just, they could have taken up some unnecessary parts, which, it's like there's a subplot with the whole court thing, and there's another subplot that they could have taken out and add some development scene for the characters, because that's really where it comes. I think Zack Snyder is too focused on delivering the action and the look and stuff that he doesn't really get the narrative down. That's really where people are complaining about this film. The narrative isn't the best, the development isn't the best, and I just felt like if they put more focus on the narrative, and they kind of like, even though I want some bit more action in the film, they kind of like toned back the action, and they put a lot of focus on the narrative and development, this movie would have been blowing everyone away. But I see Rotten Tomatoes, the score isn't that great, but I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Don't get me wrong. A lot of the positives are big positives, like Ben Affleck, but a lot of the negatives are big negatives, like Jesse Eisenberg. But I really enjoyed this movie. I'm going to be checking it out again this weekend, catching up on Easter eggs, trying to have a spoiler talk video after I see it again this weekend. But my rating for Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice is a 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I'm hoping it goes better when I see it again this weekend, but there's some negatives in there. There's some negatives, and I really hope those negatives become positives when I see it again. But anyways, leave a comment box below what you guys thought of Batman v Superman if you have seen it. If you haven't followed me on Instagram and Twitter, links are in the description box below, like my Facebook page, also in the description box below. Please like and share with your friends and family. If you haven't subscribed me, please do. Other than that, you guys have a good day, and goodbye.